How's it going, everyone? I'm Contemption. Today, we're going to talk about Rise of Kingdoms. In particular, we're going to talk about field fighting in KvK. I've had a lot of questions on this account, my free-to-play account in 2563. What commanders am I going to choose? How am I going to pair them? Why do I pair them like that? A bunch of questions. What is a nuker? How do I build talent trees? What's my approach at that? A lot of questions that are tedious to answer typing with your thumbs, or if you have the beta version or BlueStack, you can use a keyboard, thankfully. But I figured, you know what? Let's do a video about this. Let's talk about it. This is my opinion. This is how I approach field fighting and murder balls in KvK. It's where I excel because I'm not well enough to be a rally lead or a garrison lead, especially garrison because I don't have the commanders for it. But a rally lead, I'm just not well enough, especially in Season of Conquest. I can't max Crystal Tech as fast as everybody else. It's just not in the budget. Wife, kids, you know how it is. Anyways, let's get into the intro. After that, we're going to talk everything I know about commanders pairing for KvK Season 1. For older players, you might not get much from this, but from newer players, you will learn something. And maybe the older players will learn something. Or you guys can give input down below. Please leave a comment, jump into our Discord. Great place for new players to learn things and old players to teach people. Lot of fun. It's really nice to see. If you are watching this and it's been a couple hours since the video has been up, take a look down below. There's going to be suggestions from other players who probably know more than I do. I am not the perfect player. I will go over that as we get into it. But you know what? Without delaying any further, here's the intro. Okay, so let's talk about KvK Season 1. And before I do that, I remembered that I marched 25 minutes to grab a research rune. So I'm going to quickly smash this and I'll show you my research because I think I'm going to have a huge advantage from the painstaking process of doing economy this early in the game. But we have enough resources now to smash Mathematics 10. We grabbed a rune. We'll use some resources if my game's going to work for me. There we go. And bam, one down, engineering 10 to go. And then CH22, I'll have 5 marches. It's ready, just the resources. Man, that's painful, especially because I don't have a farm. But that's okay, we'll make it. We'll get through it. Okay, how am I going to field fight this KvK, especially as a free-to-play player? I've gone over this before. The commanders I'm going to use as primary is 100% Charles Martel at hopefully 5511. That might be a stretch. Maybe it'll be 5311, 5411, hoping for 5511. That is the best for Charles Martel. You really want his primary, of course, maxed out, mostly for the damage bonus. Obviously, the shield at 1200 is fantastic. But the damage bonus is where Charles Martel really exceeds, as well as the stats. You get 15% defense and health. This is nice too, of course, but there's no way I'm going to have it any higher than 5511 before KvK. The next commander I'm going to use in the field is Richard. I got super lucky. If you're on my Discord or if you saw a comment on YouTube that I posted, I got 8 sculptures on my free spin today. I don't know why I've been so lucky on the wheel. I wish it was more luck on specialization on my legendary equipment, but I got really lucky. I've unlocked them for 10 spins and some on the first wheel. Very cool. 18 sculptures. Didn't cost me a whole lot. Awesome. So Richard is my second commander I'm going to run. Why? Because of the defensive tree, because he heals. With Richard, I'm going to go for 5111. If I can get it higher, I'll try and up the second skill. So maybe it'll be 5211. We'll see what the other wheels are like. Maybe I'll get lucky again. That would be awesome. Now for my third march, and I'm probably only going to run 3 field marches, maybe even 2, depending on how the enemy acts. I'm probably going to use Bjorn. And the secondary, I don't know. I'm definitely going to use Charles Martel and Sun Tzu. I think they pair fantastic. Charles is going to buff with that primary skill 30% increased damage on Sun Tzu's, and I will have him expertise by KvK, his huge damage factor. Like if you're hitting 5 targets, you're getting 5,000 damage factor. Plus you're getting 250 rage because of his fancy little rage for each target you hit. Sun Tzu is a beast. If you can have Charles Martel and Sun Tzu expertise out on the field, you're going to get some awesome returns. Nobody likes hitting Charles Martel or Richard in the field for KvK 1, 2, and so on. Not many people like hitting him. It just hurts. The defensive tree is super powerful. They are meant to be tanks. It is awesome. So I'm thinking Charles Martel and Sun Tzu. I'm thinking Richard and Joan of Arc, because my role out in the field, as much as I want to do damage and get kills, I also want to buff the commanders out in the field who are stronger than I am, who are nukers. And we will talk about what nuker means in a couple of minutes. That was a question I had in game. So Richard and Joan, I should have her expertise. I don't know how many epic commanders I can expertise before KvK 1. I'm not going to have a problem with Bjorn. He's not far. I shouldn't have a problem with Sun Tzu. He is a ways away, but not that far. And Joan, I'm hoping I can do one more. If I can do 3, that would be awesome. Hopefully I don't have to spend any gems in the VIP shop for epic sculptures, but we'll see how far we get. So that was Charles Martel, Sun Tzu, Richard, and Joan. Again, Joan is fantastic, especially when she is expertise, mostly when she's expertise. 4-second buff on allied troops gaining 30% infantry health, 30% cavalry defense, and 30% archer attack. Plus, they get 50 additional rage per second. That's huge. If you have seen Wick's video on rage, you cap out at a certain amount. I think it's like 200 and something each turn. Having an extra 50 rage per second on each turn is huge. It is so powerful. Joan of Arc is fantastic. It does stink that Richard is not a rage engine, as they call it, so he's not going to cast his skill as fast. But because Joan's expertise, he's most likely going to get that extra 50 rage a second for 4 seconds, which will help speed up his rage gen. So it is a good combo. The third combo will be Bjorn, and I'm probably going to hide Ethelfled behind him. It's going to be a squishier march, which means that if it gets targeted and swarmed, it will melt quickly. And by melt, I mean you're going to die. You're not going to be on the field for long. It depends on how the enemy reacts. So if I can have Bjorn and Ethelfled, I'm going to put full Windswept on them, and we'll talk about that in a second. Windswept gives you march speed. March speed is very important when you're fighting in murder balls to get out when you notice you're getting targeted. So I'm going to put full Windswept on Bjorn, try to run away as fast as I can when I get targeted, and hopefully fire off those skills, because Bjorn is a nuker. He's a rage regen commander. Once he has his expertise, he's going to do huge damage. And if he's giving this 15% increased skill damage for 3 seconds to Ethelfled, and they're both doing AoE damage in a fan shape, I'm probably going to get some awesome reports. But again, it depends on how the enemy reacts. Every KvK is going to be different. And that's something I'm trying to tell people, is that you need to be flexible and fluid. You need to notice that, okay, this KvK, the enemy we're fighting outside of level 4 passes, is going straight for Joan of Arc or Ethelfled. That might not be the case in a different enemy through level 5 passes. They react differently. It depends on whether they're on Discord voice talking to each other. It depends on if they have experienced players in the game who are telling people, go after Ethelfled. If you see Ethelfled, make sure you take her out right away, because Ethelfled is just so fantastic. If you can use her in open field, and I might put her behind Richard, again, depending on how the enemy reacts. Nobody's going to target Richard first in open field murder ball. It's just not going to happen. And if it does, you're probably going to be laughing, because they're just going to be hitting a brick wall. They're going to go after Mina. They're going to go after Baybars. They're going to go after Ethelfled if she's a primary, or Joan if she's a primary. Really, they're going to go after what they can see. when you're hiding a commander behind a tank, it becomes hard for them to identify. It's laggy. A lot of people's phones are going to lag during murder balls. If you have an iPhone 12 Pro or iPhone 13, you're probably going to be better off. If you're doing it on the beta version, or if you have a nice PC on BlueStack, you're probably going to do a lot better. But it's really hard to tell who secondary commanders are when there's so many icons and so many things going on. So you really have to be fluid. You really want to use your AoE commanders behind tanks. That's why I think Charles Martel and Richard is so fantastic for KvK 1, 2. Charles you can use forever. I'm still using him on my main account. Even Richard I'm using, especially with the museum buff. But okay, let's go quickly look at the Windswept gear. I really want people to know if you have infantry or cavalry, you should be using the Windswept set. We'll just go straight into sets. It is a fantastic set for infantry or cavalry. It gives march speed on every single piece, and it gives march speed when you have the full set. It also increases march speed when you have it specialized. So you can gain a lot of march speed by having this full set somewhat or fully specialized. You're going to do very well, especially if you're running AoE commanders behind them and you can run away when you're targeted. What do murder balls look like? Best to punch it into YouTube. I do have some more videos. I'm sure you can find murder balls on them. Unfortunately, our last KvK, when I first started this YouTube channel, our KvK wasn't great for wars. They were abrupt and hit or miss. And when we thought they were going to happen, the enemy was a no-show. So I'm hoping I will have a lot of more war footage in the near future, especially in 2396 for KvK Season 2, which is coming soon. So you want to get used to murder balls. What it is everybody fights over a territory, typically between flags when they touch, because having open field presence really wins you the rally. So what a murder ball is 50, 100, 200 people in a ball fighting each other, pulling each other back and forth, targeting each other, running away when you notice you're targeted, because once you're swarmed, you're pretty much done. It is probably my favorite part of Rise of Kingdoms. Unfortunately, it's far and in between for KvKs because you have to wait for such a long time and then it's over so fast, or you run out of resources. That's a big problem too. So Windswept, definitely suggest if we get, and I'm not sure if we're going to get Archaeological Dig event. If we do, I highly suggest Wind Scars. Of course, Ancient Stratagems is fantastic as well. But Wind Scars, if you're planning on being an infantry commander based player and you're planning on doing murder balls, Wind Scars is awesome. You can get away faster. That's the most important part. If you get it specialized like my main, it's even better. There's also going to be Call of the Loyal. Here's a little hint if you're still watching. Thank you for sticking around. Call of the Loyal is something you can get from Lost Canyon. Now, Lost Canyon is like Sunset Canyon, but for KvK, where all 8 kingdoms are fighting in a Sunset Canyon battlefield for top rank. It works a little bit differently. The mechanics are different. When you win, you don't get more points. If you're the defender, if you're the attacker and you win, you jump into their spot and they get knocked down into your spot. It works a little bit differently, but from the Lost Canyon shop, you can purchase Call of the Loyal. It doesn't take much to get, but if you remember this, the moment Lost Kingdom opens, if you can set your defense in Lost Canyon quickly, you will get a top spot because it's first come, first serve. You'll get a top spot and you will start accumulating those shop coins faster, which means you'll get Call of the Loyal faster. It means people have to beat you down before you start losing your income. And income is based on your rank. If you are rank 1, you get 1,000 of these shop coins per hour. So it works out really well if you are at the top, or especially if you start right when it opens. Okay, that's enough for equipment. Let's talk about talent trees. First, a nuker. What is a nuker? This is my definition of a nuker. It is someone with the skill or support tree. It is somebody who is able to cast their skills really quickly and has a very high damage factor as their primary, or if you're like Alex, If you have him as a secondary, he has his second skill. But let's just give Minamoto, and I don't have him unlocked. If you have this finished with expertise, he is called a nuker because of how much damage he does and how quickly he can do it. He has the skill tree, which means that he can get rage really quickly. Rage is what you need to fire off your active skill. Most cases it's 1,000. Some commanders it's a little more. Some commanders it's a little less. You're not going to find that in KvK Season 1. So when we're talking about Nuker, you're talking about Minamoto. Who else could we be talking about for Nuker in KvK Season 1? It's not going to be Tao Tao. He is a secondary. I wouldn't call him a nuker. He does not have the skill tree or support tree. His rage gen is very slow. I do not consider him a nuker. Who else do we got? Med. You could call him a nuker. I don't see why not. He's got the skill tree. He does huge damage, AoE, especially when he's expertise. He brings extra troop capacity. I consider him a nuker. YSG, 100% a nuker. Skill tree, has rage gen from Archer, does huge damage when expertise in a circular area. Even when he's not expertise, he does fantastic. Who else? We got Freddy, could be considered a nuker, but he is only good when he's expertise, and even then he is only good for KvK Season 1. So hopefully you're not working Freddy. If you are, I am sorry. Who else do we got? Hopefully nobody's working Ragnar. I have seen him in Sunset Canyon, and I won't call anybody out. Stop. Just stop. He's not good ever. I don't even think he's going to be good for like Richard. Like, sure, you're going to reduce the healing effect, but man, I don't know. I'm curious to see, but I don't think he's going to be good. Kira, 100% a nuker, but for KvK Season 1, nobody's going to have her expertise. It's going to be very hard to have her at a good skill level. Is there any other nuker? Like, I guess you could call Pelagius a nuker if you have Tao Tao or Mina behind him. Sure, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going off of my experience in this game. I'm not the best player. I'll show you my main before this video's up. I should have more kills for the age of my account. I'll be the first one to admit it. I've had ups and downs in the game. I've had good KvKs and bad KvKs. I've had kingdoms where I didn't want to fight for them because I thought they were assholes, really. Like, I'm just going to be blunt about it. So yeah, my kills could be better. Totally understand that. Let's get back on topic. Baybars. I love Baybars. I wish Baybars was better. I love using him as a secondary. Behind Pelagius would be awesome. If I was doing cavalry on this free-to-play account, I would 100% work Baybars. His area of effect is killer. It doesn't get reduced for each target you hit. It becomes 1,000 for 5 targets for 5,000 damage factor. If you hit all 5, it reduces their march speed. I love this commander. I think he's fantastic. Most people will say he sucks. I think he's awesome. I love him. I wish I could use him more, but that's just not the game I'm playing this time. Maybe next time. Is there any other nukers? I'm sure people could say Boudica, but if you see her in open field, just hit her because you'll get fantastic trades. So maybe just don't use her. Sun Tzu again, nuker. Bjorn. I'm sorry if I said Bjorn earlier. I'm trying my best to remember Bjorn, but it just keeps. I read it and I see Bjorn. I can't help myself. I'm Canadian. I just have bad English to begin with. Ethelfled, 100% a nuker. I don't care what anyone says. Support tree is fantastic for rage regeneration. Rejuvenate gives you 150 each time you use a skill. She's fantastic. She also has Hidden Wrath, which gives you rage. But okay, talked about nukers. What else do I have written down on my sticky note? Because I have to cheat how I field fight in KvK. I kind of went over that. I hide my area of effect commanders behind my tanks. I do that on my main account still. Some exception, I do have Naboo YSG just because they get good trades even if they're swarmed, really. They're always good. I love Naboo and YSG. How to build talent trees. Let's go over that because I already explained a nuker and that was my third topic. I can get rid of my sticky note now. Okay, how I approach talent trees. I will go on to my main now because I have the ability to do all talents and I can show you because I have some that are empty, but always go for rage first. Oh, did I say rejuvenate? No. I said Ethelfled support tree gave you 150. So rejuvenate gives you 60 rage whenever a skill is used. When I start Bjorn, or yes, Bjorn, I said it right this time. When I start Bjorn, I run and I grab rejuvenate first. Then I grab Undying Fury. Then I will quickly grab Buckler's Shield. I will run down then and grab Clarity. And after Clarity, I will go for as far as I can to hold the line. I think it's a little bit less on this commander because he has the Conquering Talent Tree, and I go for that. But let's jump on to my main quickly. Do I have any rallies to join? I could really use the resources from rallies, and everybody's teleported away from me. Sad day. I understand why, because we have 2 shrines, which is fantastic, but everybody's gone now. So I will teleport to them later, even though teleports hurt as a free to play, but that's okay. I have quite a few territorial teleports. So let's jump over to my main here. Nope, I always do this wrong because it's different on the beta version. Okay, so I'm on my main now. Let's quickly do these fun little things. I'm sure my gem farmers are back, which is always sad. Oh, they're all back. We're gonna forget we saw that. Okay, let's go to Bjorn because we were talking about him earlier. There he is, level 60. I upped him a while ago. Let's go right to here and oh, I already have them all. I think I can reset for free, can't I? Yes, I can because I'm not using it. Okay, so like I said, first one I go to is Rejuvenate. I finished that. I jump to Undying Fury. Now I'm getting a bunch of rage. I do not go for Feral Nature. Wick came out with some awesome videos. The percent chance you get, and even when you do get it, it's a lot of rage. I believe it's 100 when it's finished. Because you have a cap on rage, and I think it's 226, but I could be wrong. It might be a little more than that. Correct me where I'm wrong down below in the comments, please. It's been a while since I've seen Wick's video. When you do get this, it's typically going to be that rage is wasted or a good portion of it. So your best bet is to go to stats, like base stats that are going to help you the entire time you're fighting or getting targeted. So I've gotten Buckler's Shield. Like I said, I'm going to go down to Clarity. Clarity is fantastic for this commander because his active skill, after using an active skill, increase skill damage by 6% for the next 6 seconds. And like I said, if I'm going to put Ethelfled behind Bjorn, that's going to increase damage from Ethelfled in a fan-shaped area against 5 targets for 6%. Pretty fantastic. Okay, then I'm going to go to hold the line. I will finish that. And then I have 11 points to work with. And this is where you have to learn what kind of player you are. What Bjorn is going to be doing. Is Bjorn going to have maybe Charles Martel or Richard behind him? Instead of having a AoE commander behind him, you have a tank behind him to let him last out in the field longer. Maybe that's what you choose to do. Totally up to you. Maybe I'll do that this KvK. I don't know. Maybe you want the march speed. So you have to choose, are you going to go for all this march speed, which adds up to being quite a bit? What is that? 6, and 6 is 18. 18% march speed in a couple talents. Or are you going to go for some march speed, but also strong of body? And strong of body is really strong. 6% health is like having another equipment piece on, a good equipment piece at that. So you really have to decide. For this case, let's go and give him some march speed. And that's pretty much going to finish him, but we can grab 2% health anyways. So that is what my Bjorn will look like out in the field, most likely with a AoE commander like Ethelfled behind him. Maybe I'll play around and put Sun Tzu behind him. No, you really got to be fluid. You got to see how the enemy reacts to each of them. Maybe I have to hide Bjorn behind Charles Martel. It really just depends. You have to learn and be fluid depending on the enemy you're fighting. Let's choose another talent tree. Who else is going to be used a lot? Mina is definitely going to be used a lot. I don't know how many people have him expertised. This is not the skill tree you want to use. That is what I use for barbarians. This is what I use for, as you can see, Sunset Canyon. If you're using him there, And that's because you want to deal as much damage as possible. Don't typically suggest this, but it can be good. What would I do now if I were to do this now, knowing what I know now, because that is a very old talent tree? I would get all of these. I would also get the latent power. I believe that still works. Maybe somebody's proven that wrong, but I believe it still works. I will go for Undying Fury. Of course, you want that rage. Can I get... No, I can't. Okay, well, I'm going to go for reduce skill damage to make him a little bit more tanky. And I will go see if I... Yeah, I can grab that too. And that'll be level 2. That is how I would do Mina today if I had him in 2563. If I'm not going to use Mina primary in 2396 for KvK Season 2, he will be a secondary, so his talents do not matter. Secondary commanders, talents don't matter. If you don't know that, you should be watching more YouTube videos. Okay, what's another commander we should go over? This is my build and will always be my build for Charles Martel. I do swap it a tiny bit. If I need more march speed, I will take it from this defense and 2 from strong of body. But the defense tree should be close to max. Fantastic. I don't like Desperate Elegy. Not a fan. I've used it before. When your commander is reduced to 30%, it's time to leave. It's time to get off the field. Unless you're in unless you're in Ark of Osiris, then half the time it's better if you have enough troops to just die and then rooted faster back to your castle so you can send out a full march again. So that is the talent tree. Obviously going for rage first. So I'd go for Burning Blood first, jump to Undying Fury, run over to either Testudo Formation, or you can go to Medicinal Supplies. You definitely want to hit up Loose Formation closely after that. Jump to Hold the Line, and then you can hit up all these other ones. It's the same for Richard because they have the exact same talent trees. If you're going to use Ethelflaed as a primary commander, which I do not suggest because you will lose, there is the talent tree. Reason for 1 being in Cage of Thorns is all you need is to slow down the enemy for her expertise to work to increase your damage by 20%. So Cage of Thorns does not have to be 5 out of 5 if you're using her as a primary. That was discovered a long time ago. I don't remember if that was Chizdrul, Legend Ronnie, Gecko, or Dragothian. I watch all of them. I used to watch them a lot more when I was a younger player. I can't remember who discovered that, but that's how the talent tree works. Obviously, you're going to use mixed troops. It's almost a must if you're using Ethelflaed as a primary. You get all these talents, which is fantastic. And she does... Which one is it? It's been so long since I've looked. No, not that one. It won't be that one. It must be this one. So there's a period here, so it doesn't just count for rallied troops. When troops led by this commander consist of 3 or more different troop types, troops gain 20% increased attack. So it just makes sense to send out all 3 troop types unless your secondary commander is infantry and you just send out infantry commander or infantry troops. Hey, there you go. Maybe you have Charles Martel behind her. I don't see why you do that, but maybe you do. Is there anyone else that I should show you? How I should do Belisarias, just because people are definitely going to be hunting farms in this KvK. That is without a doubt. This is, I'm pretty sure, the fastest. Is it the fastest? I don't think it's 100% the fastest because I think you could do this. No, you want that for jumping through tiles. I think this is close to the fastest. No, put this at 2. Put this at 2 and this should be at 2. And then it'll be the fastest march that you can have. Put Windswept, full Windswept with Call of the Loyal behind him. Specialized, and you're the fastest march out there. Put T4, never T5 if you're trying to go fast. Otherwise, T5 are just a lot slower. But that's a great one. Belisarius is not a rage gen. He's not a nuker. He is meant for killing farms. He doesn't have a whole lot of rage. Where is rage? Rage is over here, and you're not even going to go for it if you're chasing people. So there's that talent tree. Pelagius is going to be the same, exactly the same as Mina. These are old talent trees. I haven't used them in a very long time. So it would be like the one I already showed you which would have this, latent power, obviously Undying Fury, and then getting to these two. I think this is better than this one, my opinion, but taking reduced skill damage in a murder ball is always the best suggestion. Okay, that I think is it. I'm going to do one more thing. I know, wow, we are at a long video. This is 30 minutes long. Holy smokes. Let's quickly go back because I have some more stuff to say. If you've stuck around this long, kudos to you. If you haven't hit the liked and subscribe button yet, please do. It does help. I am getting closer to 1,000 subs. I can taste it. I am super stoked for that. It's not going to mean a whole lot for, getting money back for the money I've spent doing this hobby, but it's definitely going to help. Let's quickly send, I need wood for sure. I need everything right now. But anyways, okay, let's quickly talk about commanders you should not use out in open field. You should not use gathering commanders. That should be a no-brainer except for Joan, but Joan should be a secondary. If the enemy sees Joan as a primary, it's going to be swarmed and taken down. Yulji, I do not think is good. If you've already worked him, he could be used as a secondary, not as a primary. He has the attacks. I don't think he's a good primary. Let's just leave it at that. Belisarius is only good as a primary for hunting farms. Boudica is meant for barbs. Do not send Boudica in the field for field fighting, especially as a primary. You're going to die really quickly. Tao shouldn't be a primary unless you're hunting farms. He doesn't have enough rage regeneration for casting skills fast enough. Great behind Pelagius. Definitely would be good. Richard, 100% open field. None of the legendary gatherers should be used in PvP. If maybe somebody's going to comment below and say, dude, what are you talking about? Sion Deac's awesome. Or Cleo's great with the defense that she gives in a circular area. Well, sorry, bro, but she's not that good. And I know she's not that good. Herman, I'm sorry if you're an archer player for KvK1. It is not meant for you. Even KvK2 is pretty brutal for archers. So I apologize in advance. And I say that because YSG can be used behind any other commander. It doesn't have to be archers. Matilda, no, she's a gatherer. CPO, you are going to die. Don't send CPO unless you want him as a secondary for a little bit more tankiness and a little bit more troops. I don't suggest him. If you send any of these elite commanders out, you're done. Let's not even talk about these advanced commanders. I don't even know why they're in the game. Trap commanders for experience tomes, maybe. Baybars, like I said before, I love Baybars. I think he's fantastic. He's got to be a secondary. He will get surrounded quickly. El Cid, like I said, archers have no love this KvK. Don't work him. He's never going to be good, even with the relic. Julius Caesar, not good. Great to bring a whole bunch of troops out. Might be a little bit tanky, but you're never going to get your good positive trades with Julius Caesar. Betmed is good, but I wouldn't suggest working him. Just build him over gold keys over time. 5-5-1-1 is decent. I have him on my main as 5-5-4-5. I'll put a guard up at the top. That was a tough one to get. Mulan is fantastic, but she has to be expertise. She has to be. Her primary skill is only 2 seconds until it is expertise at 3 seconds. She's not good enough until she's expertise, and she's a very expensive commander to expertise. Kusunoki is meant for archers. You should be pairing archer commanders with archer commanders, cavalry commanders with cavalry, infantry with infantry. That's the way it goes. Kusunoki should not be behind your infantry commander. It just shouldn't. I don't think you should use Kusunoki in open field. Maybe Sunset Canyon or Lost Canyon. He can shine out there. Pelagius, as I said, really good commander to hide Mina or Tao behind him. Osman, not good. Just like CPO, yes, he brings out extra troops. Yes, he does some good direct damage, but murder balls, that's what we're talking about. Not good to hit one target. It's just not. Anybody else we're going to have? Obviously, YSG is the best. We'll see him soon on the wheel. Freddy, only good expertise, and even then he's not that good. Hannibal, we'll see them on the whales. Just run away. If you see a whale with a Hannibal, he's got a high VIP. He spent more money. He's probably got T5. Just run away. Unless you're another T5 with Hannibal. He's not good, but he hurts. He's got a lot of troops. The guy's probably running full 50% expansion. Just run away. Ragnar should not, don't even look at him. Just don't. Lubu, you're not going to get. He's gone. That was a trap commander Lilith made us pay for. Kira, good, but won't be expertised. Has to be hidden as a secondary commander. And like I said, Archer's got no love this KvK. Dio-chan. I don't know enough about her. I don't know. I don't think she's good. She came with Lubu. Yeah, just ignore. So that's it, guys. I have spoken now for 35 minutes. I'm going to drink some more of my Coke. Thank you for sticking around. If you did, again, hit the like and subscribe. It really does help. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I don't know how many are going to be watching until the very end. Maybe some people will. If you do make it to the end, leave a comment down below. I made it. I appreciate that, guys. Anyways, have a good one. Talk to you later. Thanks for checking this out. Bye.